Hello and welcome to Fishing on Northwest. My name is Tommy Donlin.
What do you think, Tommy?
It's the best.
I was not going to drink my buddy's
homemade wine, living Northwest wild. Hunting, fishing is my kind of style. I float the Wainuchi when it gets hot. I'm proud of all the things that I've got.
Hello and welcome to Fish on Northwest. And yes, the Viking himself, Matt Messin, in the house.
In the house tonight.
Nice to see you, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Well,
been
Tommy
busy.
I splashed the boat in up there in Nia Bay, I guess, for the weekend, and so I called you up and said, "Hey, man, we got stuff to talk about. What do you think about joining me in the studio?" And, well,
Yeah.
Well, behold, here you are.
Figured I'd take a day off of flying.
This would be why you're no longer working with me in the field. You're far too busy. Matt Messin is joining me this evening. Co-host duties and a lot of great content to get through with him. So, is that right? Oh, that would be a problem. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Okay, let's do that right now. There we go. That sounds a lot better. Thank you. All right, may have started this over now. Moving on. Hey, if you're joining us for the first time, especially here on Root Sports, want to take some time, jump over to our webpage, www.fishhuntnw.com. They're going to find a lot of insightful information and, of course, some coupon codes to take advantage of. Edge rods, FHN20 at checkout at Edge Rods. You're going to save 20% on all edge rods all the time if they're not previously attached to another reduced special or pricing. And, of course, Phelps Game Calls, Fish Hunt NW10 at Phelps Game Calls. 10% off all calls throughout the entire year. Simply click on those coupons and it takes you right to the websites to order your stuff. You're sitting on an edge rod right there for your lingcod fishing.
Going right here,
if
baby.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So, Matt, I asked you to come in studio tonight. You've been out there on Puget Sound pounding some lingcod, and we got a number of Puget Sound fisheries specifically that we're going to delve into this evening. Currently going on, and as we roll into the season, things to look forward to. Lots of good content with you tonight, so I'm very, very excited that you're here. Before we jump too far along here, there are a number of things happening. So we have the second installment of the Lower River reopening for Spring Chinook. They actually even bumped that by one more day. It was supposed to open Saturday through Monday once again for second phase, and then we get another weekend next week. But they're opening it tomorrow, Friday, the 24th through the 27th, and then, of course, June 12th, the 12th through the 15th. Lower Columbia open for Spring Chinook. Fishing's been pretty good. Weather window this weekend looks pretty decent. Yeah. You know, typically Memorial Day weekend is like the kickoff of camping and
it's the outdoor weekend.
It's the outdoor weekend. So we got things to look forward to in that regard. And of course, hey, just around the corner, we'll probably get into it next week. Summer Steelhead's opening June 1st. Happens to fall on a Saturday this year. So there you go. Saturday, June 1st, Summer Steelhead is opening. Unfortunately, up north for the entire Snohomish system is closed until further notice. The Sky Comish has a delayed opening this year, which has really got a lot of people kind of a little bit bent. Opening's delayed until June 15th, so we don't get the classic June 1 opener. And then it's only open until July 10th. Real short season for steelhead on the Sky Comish based on numbers and the anticipated return. So, all right, running down the show, we got a host of things to get through. Obviously, Matt Messin is in the house. Messin Around Fishing Charters. Puget Sound Lingcod, live bait, Matt. You absolutely love doing that, as do I. Breaking it down for you and keys to success. Then we'll come back with Matt with Messin Around Fishing Charters. And if you can't go with the live bait, you got to go artificial. What's in your presentation and what you need to know to find success in that regard. And then if you missed it, we actually finished up the 2024 fourth annual Kids Trout Derby here at Summit Lake. Once again, it's a big success. We're going to bring you some video content that we shot during the event, show you exactly what you may have missed. And then we'll come back after that break, wrapping it up with the Kids Derby, thanking our sponsors and showing you just how all this comes together. Please stick around while we walk through that because I know you're going to enjoy that content. It's a great event. ESA permitting complete. Fisheries have reopened and additional opportunities soon to open. Also, folks are asking, so I'm going to give you a little update on my boat build just to bring you up to speed on that. And then, of course, we'll get back with Matt. Hey, June 1st, as I mentioned, not only summer steelhead, but Resident Coho Area 10 is just around the corner. What you need to know to be successful getting set up for that, because it'll be here before we know it. Resident Coho Puget Sound, and then we'll come back and close out the show. So, yeah, lots going on. We got steelhead to look forward to. This Chinook fishery, spring Chinook fishery on the Columbia, just continues to go. And Jordan and I and a few others, we're going to jump down there with Josh Carlton again. I think Monday, Memorial Day, we're going to actually go target spring Chinook and steelhead in the Columbia because, well, they're there. You guys are already getting some summer steelhead, so why not?
Yeah, take advantage of the opportunities, man.
We'll double dip on that day. All right, don't go anywhere. Jumping out for a quick break. We come back, we're going to talk with Matt and live bait for Lingcod. If you've never done it, you need to pay attention because he's got all the answers to get you set up to go find success. Lingcod on Puget Sound with Matt Messin Around Fishing Charters after the break right here, Fish Up Northwest.
Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new and best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine is a boat dealer who proudly sells Defiance, Allied, and Arima boats. All boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Defiance Marine has all your boating needs to help you get out on the water.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
For more than 90 years, you've entrusted one brand to guide you towards living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now you can entrust affiliated Better Homes and Gardens real estate professional to interpret your needs and help you find the home in which to live your dreams through every stage of your home buying or selling process. And through every stage of your life, there's Better Homes and Gardens real estate. Expect better.
All right, welcome back here in studio, Dwayne England and Matt Messin Around Fishing Charters. You guys are all familiar with him. Viking Outdoor Productions, I guess in your former life.
It's in former life. It's kind of been put on hold.
Moving on. Yeah. Anyway, hey, you've been out there Puget Sound chasing lingcod since the opener. Now, that opens May 1st. It stays open through June 15th. We get 6 weeks, one fish per person.
Yep, 26 to 36 inches.
And finding some nice sized fish this year.
It's been a good season this year. There's the population, I think, is doing really well out there, and we've been doing pretty good. It's been a little scratch fishing on some of the days. We've really had to work for them, but we've been finding most of them in the end, and a lot of the other guys out there have been doing really well too. So.
So a couple of years ago, Tommy and I were out there with you. We did a little live bait presentation that day, roped into a good number of fish, and you've been doing the live bait thing, and I mean. Previous years, you even had you would go out and catch your bait and keep them live there in your boathouse and just.
I got a little bait pen in the boathouse.
A little bait pen there. And, but for folks that aren't set up, can't do that. And they don't have a live well in the boat. They think they can't fish live bait. Talk a little bit about how you go out and find your bait, get your morning going, and then how do you keep them alive so they're going to be good swimmer? We don't want to put down dead, lethargic bait. We want them alive, right? Yeah. So what do we need to do to secure that bait and then try to keep it alive on the boat?
So I'm fortunate enough, I've got a live well on the boat. So mine are living in that. But if you don't have that, if you got 2 5-gallon buckets, you can do this. Go out there, go get yourself any kind of sabiki rigs, Walmart, West Marine, Sport Co, probably the best spot, for the variety of sabiki rigs you're going to want for the different size baits. But these flounders, you know, I'm using a size 5 hooks for them, and they love them.
Yeah.
So go out there, go look for those sandy bottoms. I've been finding from 65 to 95. You know, kind of the deeper the
on your depth,
the depth's been working really good for finding kind of the smaller. You know, you want flounder about the size of your hand, guys. Like the smaller, the better on these things.
Bigger than your hand, it's kind of like
yeah, bigger in your hand. The lingcod kind of play with them a little longer. They chew on them more. You know, I find the smaller the bait, the more committed that these fish are to really just grabbing that and taking off with.
How much lead you got to drop below that sabiki rig to get it down?
I'm using a 3 to 4 ounce little cannonball on the end of that sabiki rig, and just
bounce the bottom,
back stroll a little bit. You know, just keep those lines nice and vertical. You know, you're gonna have a lot better time getting those fish up off the bottom.
It's like jigging on a vertical presentation.
But yeah, you know, so you go out and get some flounder, right? Just swap the water between the 2 5-gallon buckets every so often. You know, the flounder are going to be your hardiest bait out there.
They're going to last the longest.
Some of the other baits, like the shiner perch that you're going to probably catch around the docks before you leave, those are a little tougher. You got to kind of take care of them a little bit more. They're a little more sensitive.
Sabiki rig down and all this stuff, right?
Yeah. Sabiki rigs for those. You know, the size 3. You want that tiny little hook. Gamakatsu makes a great size 3 little fish skin.
Yeah,
just like the little white feather hooks. Those are the rigs you want to use for the piling perch.
Yeah,
the shiners.
Those little shiners work great. I know we used a number of them. We used herring too.
We got lucky that day.
We got lucky that day.
We had like 6-inch herring schools that were hanging out in the marina, and I caught as much as I could.
You caught a ton.
And if you guys can get live herring, you could almost guarantee you're going to go home with fish that day, because they absolutely annihilate. They fight over those herring.
They love herring.
They just inhale them as soon as they get in front of them.
If your bait's not doing so well, not swimming real strong, dropping dead bait down better than nothing.
Better than nothing. You know, there's been times where we couldn't find the small flounder. I've actually just taken frozen herring and cut plug them. You know, let them roll just like you would for a Chinook or something. Yeah, and I just drop them down there, and I'd let my drift kind of go a little faster than normal. I wouldn't try to keep my lines as vertical.
Keep action on.
It's almost like a slow troll going on across the bottom, and I just let them roll down there. And I've had luck doing that on some of those tougher days.
Talk about the setup. You're fishing a slider rig, a cannonball of XYZ amount of weight, and 4 or 5 foot leader. Or
so I like using. I've got a 6 pound or 6 pound ball here. You know, a 6 ounce cannonball. It's all hooked up on a slider rig.
Okay.
You know, because when these lingcod take that bait, you know, the first thing you want to do is lower that rod tip. Right. You want to give this bait to them and feed them. Even, pop that drag, free spool, start feeding them line. I tell my customers, I say, give them I don't care if you snag bottom while you're feeding a fish. I'd rather us have that opportunity for that fish, you know, so just drop it. And so that lead will hit, and now you're giving them line. And so that fish those lingcod will pick that bait up, and they'll start swimming away with it, and they don't feel nothing pulling back on them.
Sure.
So they're more committed to just grabbing that, starting to eat it and swallow it.
If you're fishing a fixed lead, you're not able to feed them like that and give them that non-resistance presentation, right?
Yeah, that fixed lead, they grab the bait as soon as they pick it up or pull on it. They feel somebody tugging back, and so those huge mouths open up quick. They can spit every last hook, and everything comes out of that mouth.
Even with all them reverse teeth they got in there.
Yeah.
What size hook are you pinning those baits on with?
For the flounder, I'm using anywhere from 5/0 to 7/0 hooks.
Okay.
You know, I
single hook or double?
Double hooks. You know, so the first hook right through the lower jaw, out the top of the nose, and then the second hook just right on top of the back,
through the skin and out.
Through the skin and out. Yeah. So it's kind of sitting up there vertically.
Yeah, you don't want to hit the vitals. You definitely don't want to punch the brain or an eye or something. You want them to swim strong.
Find a nice little spot, kind of scratch the tip of their scales off, and then just get the hook right through the top of the
How are you pinning those herring so they swim?
Yeah, the herring and the shiners right through the top of the dorsal. Just high in the back. Perfection loop so that hook can freely spin around. Yeah. You know, circle hooks on those guys as well.
Okay.
And those are probably like 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, a little bit smaller hooks, but they work great.
Is there so we are looking at tides going into this week. We got pretty soft incoming tide. We got a huge ebb, man. I mean, these things are cranking. Depending where you're at in Puget Sound, 11 to 13 foot tide swing. Yeah. It's just dumping. The currents are going to be like a river out there. But when you're moving with it, right? I mean,
there's definitely areas where you really want that movement to really cover ground.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot more. And then on these softer tides, there's a lot of other spots where you really want to just hunker down on the, spot lock. Kind of.
Gotcha.
Just get on that spot, beat it up until you either get your fish or they don't want to play that day, and then you move on to the next spot and really just, anchor it. Don't anchor. Sorry. don't anchor. I didn't mean anchor that.
Just don't anchor.
Just keep your boat hovering.
All right. We're going to jump out for a quick break. We come back. If we're not successful going out and finding our live bait, we're not doing live bait presentation. We're talking about some soft plastics, grubs, some alternatives that we can use in Puget Sound to find success on these lingcod. More of that, artificials, when we come back after the break with Matt Messin right here, Fishing Northwest.
Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
Sportco, an outdoor emporium, is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
All right, welcome back here in the studio, Dwayne England and Matt Messin Around Fishing Charters. Hey, a lot of you guys are chiming in here, messaging and whatnot. I'll try to get to as much of that as I can during the break, but keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. It's good stuff. Matt, so I'm not, maybe I'm not successful or don't want to deal with the live bait thing and just, plastic rubs, scented gulp plastics and, rubber lures and things are kind of a way to go with a lead jig head.
Yeah, your standard lead heads, Yeah. And the big guy, I like using the 6-inch scopes,
Yeah.
Nuclear chicken's kind of a good one.
So
your white and your chartreuses.
Hey, we're out in the ocean and we're jigging up lingcod. We're hitting bottom, come up a couple cranks. You kind of got your folks doing the same thing out there. You fish around rock structure and stuff. What are you looking for on the bottom, first of all?
A lot of hard bottom rocky stuff. I've pulled a couple big boulders up, snagging those big sea anemones so far this year. So you kind of get to see, that's what's down there.
That's what's down there, sure.
But yeah, I've got them bouncing, constantly bouncing. Just keep in contact with that bottom. Like ringing that, like you would a pipe jig. Just ringing that dinner bell, just making noise, trying to either entice one to bite it because it looks good or piss one off.
White has been synonymous for years.
White's great
in a lot of different fisheries, right? I mean, in lingcod, it's no different. It works in the ocean, works in Puget Sound. I mean, if I got to pick one, is that going to be your kind of go-to? What about glow? We're fishing at what depth typically are you?
70, 65. We're pretty shallow in the sound. We're not, we're not allowed to fish deeper than 120 feet.
Correct.
So, and a lot of our kind of reefs and stuff that we got around here are 65, 55. They're pretty shallow. I really don't use anything glow. I've got all the lead head jigs I use are that root beer color.
Yeah.
And then none of the grubs I have are glow. Not saying it doesn't work. It's just something I haven't
needed it.
I'm spending all my time live bait fishing these things.
You are, yeah.
I usually give out a lead headed jig if somebody gets tired of just holding the bait still.
Gotcha. Give them
something else to do. A little something different.
Some guys are scent fanatics, lingcod or predatory ambush style type of predator. Yeah. I mean. There's no downside to scent.
I put it on some of the jigs before, just playing around, experimenting, which is the fun of fishing, right? Try stuff out. I've never really noticed anything. I don't know if I don't feel like lingcod are much of a scent creature, you know.
Sure.
It's more of
an ambush.
An ambush kind of a
they're
thing.
a visual
Yeah,
thing.
visual.
So do you ever rig them similar to your live bait, dropper slider rig and a big type of paddle tail or wormtail type grub out there just floating around spinning on a dual hook rig up, you know, so that it has like a lot of movement versus just a vertical jig situation?
I've tried that. I've kind of we learned walleye fishing.
That's right.
And supersized it.
Yes.
I got these big 5 ounce, you know,
walkers
that I used one year, and I put some Max Lure, the spin blades on those, the smile blades. Yeah, with a couple of those on there before, and I had a little bit of luck, but nothing too big to where I'm like, this is the new way of doing it, you know. So,
this is the new creation.
You know.
More so like sticking with what works. And obviously your number one go-to is a live bait.
Yeah.
And number 2 would be a vertical jig style presentation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Using a fluorocarbon leader on those guys. You don't want to tie your braid directly to your jig head. You know, you're gonna, especially when you get snagged up. It's just not.
You get that jig head into them rocks down there and don't come out, and you're directly braid to it.
You could snap a rod pretty quick if you're not paying too much attention.
Well, you're fishing clients too, so building in a break point in your system is always advisable.
Yeah.
I do see guys running that braid directly to your jig head. Now, I'm not saying you can't do it. It's just, you know. Do what you want. But live bait, obviously, number 1, they're so aggressive on that, especially when you get a herring down where it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It doesn't take long.
And then of course the vertical jig presentation and, the motor oil or the army truck or just some of those darker colors, believe it or not, work pretty well. But, the old adage is, when all that doesn't work, take it all off, put white on.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with the white.
Probably got to find something, grubs. Right? Yep. So, pretty straightforward. We still got some great opportunity for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we got a lot of days left.
Weather windows look pretty decent. We'll get through this big tide set here this week, and the tides will settle down a little bit. But, one thing we know about big tides is it also just flushes and moves a lot of bait around, so they get pretty aggressive and active too.
Yeah.
So, right on. Okay. We are going to jump out for a quick break. I got a treat for you. Don't go anywhere. Want to show you some content that we pulled this last weekend with that kids derby. So stick around. Jump back in studio here after this break right here, Fish on Northwest.
Support from Northwest Sportsmen make Federal Ammunition the world's leading ammunition manufacturer. Federal uses the industry's finest materials, giving you reliable ammunition that delivers superb accuracy and optimum performance. Northwest hunters rely on Sportco to provide the best selection and prices in the Northwest since 1985. Sportco and Outdoor Emporium in Fife and Seattle. Your journey begins here.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
You haven't been here, but you know it. You've heard the sounds, smelt the air, and you've seen where your heart lands, if not yet. You haven't been here, but you've longed for a destination near or far, where time spent with loved ones and friends will go into the night and last in memories for a lifetime. You haven't been here, but you're on your way to a place not far. ExploreTheDalles.com.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
All right, welcome back here in studio to New England and Matt Messing. So, Matt, this last weekend, we were scurrying around trying to get it all in and ready to go, and sure enough, we pulled it off. 4th annual Fish on Northwest here on Summit Lake Kids Trout Derby. And we may have been down a little bit in participation. I think we had about 150, 155 kids, which was down a few, but still pretty good turnout. I think the weather was unpredictable. I mean, we've been blessed prior to going into this. We've always had amazing weather, like mid 70s and almost too hot. And then, you know, day before it was blowing like crazy when we're setting up. And in that morning it was blowing a little bit. And but we got it all in, and right as we're getting into the awards and stuff, you know, we did get a couple showers torrenting down on us and wind blowing, and had to cover up all the electronics, and it was a good scramble. Little scramble, but you know, first time successful in getting professional guides to join us and get the kids out in boats on the lake. And I mean, we're talking about exposing kids in a boat on the water to their first fish. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So when you talk about, you know, exposure to fishing and recruitment and making lasting memories for these children, and you know, just get them all excited about fishing. Plus they go home with so much stuff. They cannot just stop not looking at it every single day. They're like, oh, I just, you know, so there's a reason for this, because we're trying to pass it on and bring up the next generations of kids to get them excited about fishing. And so we really try to make it so well-rounded. The trout pond at the facility, which all the little kids are, you know, enjoying. DFW did an amazing job. And then we got the guide boats, and we got all the persons who just participate in recreational fishing anyway, bringing their boats and doing the deal. And, you know, it was a great day. Lots of fun had, and we shot some video. And if you aren't aware of what it takes to put this all together, well, we're going to show you a little bit of that right now.
Tell you a story. I was young, all dreams of glory. All these mistakes seem to come like a flood. Until my days, they were done. I don't wanna feel like wishful thinking, getting myself up, moving to the beat, and my heart and my soul sing a song for dreaming. I see red, let it shine like glory. Like you were young, and you had no worries. Like there was no fear or doubt to fill your heart. Oh no, 'cause all your days just begun. All right. Let's get you a bag. All right, can you hold that? Hold it, you good job. All right.
The face painting is a big hit. Dad, you getting your face painted?
Negative.
Huh?
Not today.
Why not? Let's turn that into like a lion or something, huh?
Oh, no, I'll try.
Yeah. What do we got going on?
Oh, hi, Dwan. Just hanging out, making food for you.
For me?
Yeah, this is all yours.
How about all the people?
Working on that.
Oh, man. Okay, one more. Oh, got one. Oh. Oh. One more. Oh.
What happened? I got it. Another fish.
look at it.
Let me tell you a story. When I was young, I had dreams of glory. All these mistakes seem to come like.
What do you got, a perch?
I got a smallmouth. He has a smallmouth bass.
You got a smallmouth bass?
I have a large kokanee.
That usually wins the random fish. You got a big kokanee?
Big kokanee.
How big? 2?
4.8 ounces.
Oh, nice.
We're on camera.
You guys are all in contention. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you're gonna go away with something. Great job, boys. Starting to show up now for weigh-in. Some of our local supporters. Oh yeah, here we go. Now we're getting busy and here they come.
The first one I caught, the biggest.
How big is it?
It's big.
Alright, find your Ziploc.
The last one was the biggest.
That's Tony's big. It's at the very bottom of that bag right now.
Oh, look at that guy. Huh?
I'm kidding. This one's yours.
There it is.
Done.
Ooh, nice job, buddy. Yeah, did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you catch? What'd you catch him on? What'd you catch him on?
In the lake.
In the lake.
Allied, the new leader in heavy gauge aluminum boats. Allied boats have standard reverse chine and lifting rakes to help you plane faster and run at lower RPMs. Allied boats have several models to choose from, ranging from a 19-foot Mustang all the way up to a 32-foot Liberator. So regardless of what type of heavy gauge aluminum boats you are looking for, Allied Boats will have it for you. Contact Allied Boats today to learn more about these incredible fishing machines.
Hey guys, I'm Big Mike. Come on down to the Edge Pro Shop and see me. We've got all the best brands under one roof. We've got Hawken, ProCure, Short Bass, Pro Troll, Yakima Bait, Get 'em Dry Jigs, Northwest Bait Scent, Daiwa Reels, North Fork Lures, North Wild, Brad's, Superfly, Rocky Mountain Tackle, and of course, the greatest rods ever built, Edge Rods.
I have to start off, take a few minutes and thank all our sponsors. So please bear with me because without them, this isn't happening, okay? So, local family, Mike's Plum Street Automotive, Mike, Jan, and family, Stephen, you guys have been with us for all 4 years, just absolutely supporting us. Can't thank you enough for all that you do for this community. Salzer Products, Salzer Family, Ray and Kathy, you guys are awesome. Thanks for your donations and the helps to get this going. Kelly Gustafson, 4 years commitment of printing our posters that go out in the community, doesn't ask anything in return. I mean, it's that type of community support that helps us get this going. Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, Kelly, thanks so much for supplying the trout pond. Did you kids have a good time in the trout pond? How awesome is that, huh? Fishing in an aquarium, that is just magic. Ryan Elwell, Mission Outdoors, serving up all the food. Who ate some food? If you can find it within your wallet to do so, anytime you can donate to Mission Outdoors, because they provide so much care and take care of our veterans in this state. You have no idea how many events they are involved with each and every year, taking care of our veterans, and we need to give those people as much support as we can get. So Mission Outdoors is a place to go. Olympia Nissan, once again, Jordan, great job. Any of you kids get to shoot Nerf bullets at little animals? Yeah, who doesn't want to do that? Washington State Guide Association, Bobby Kratzer, you guys killed it for us. Who got to go fish in a guide boat? Anybody? Handful? Yeah. So we're getting you in boats, getting you on the water, getting you into fish, getting you to have a good time. Washington State Guide Association made that happen. Partners in the industry, all these prizes and things that we see. We got the Sport Show, Sportco, Silver Horde, Gold Star, Nomad, Design Tackle, Lancer Jigs, Popsky Bait Company, Max Lure, Brad's Killer Fishing Gear, Herod Outdoors, Yakima Bait, Western Fishing Operations. That's a host of sponsors that we get to work with in this industry, and it's folks like them stepping up that make all this possible, okay? And of course, a huge thanks, anybody that's here today volunteering. Joe Clayton, all you guys, even Santos pulls it in here and steps up for you. Anybody that volunteered, boat captains, Mike, Bobby, and Josh, outstanding. I mean, again, this is a lot to do, but with a small army, we can get this done every year. So I can't thank the volunteers enough. They expect nothing in return. So it's all on them. That's why this is successful. Also, huge thanks to my wife for putting up with me. This doesn't get stressful for a married couple. Not a single bit. So if anybody wants to try and pull this off, we can tell you how to do it and keep your marriage solid. So separate bedrooms. Again, Kratzer family, outstanding. So nice to have you guys. God bless you. Good friends of ours. They helped out a ton this year. Janet Jones face painting. Who got their face all painted up? Hey, look at little butterfly queen. Janet, thank you so much. She came up to me last year at the event, said, would the kids like face painting? I think, yeah, kids love face painting. So a few of you adults could step in the ring too, and of course our local Boy Scouts, Fire Department, Chief Johnson and crew, and our Thurston County Sheriff's Department. Outstanding that you guys are able to take some time, come out here, represent your community. So give all those folks a huge round of applause, please. First up, biggest trout. Hi. Jonathan Morales, 1 pound, 1.6 ounces. Yes, Jonathan wins big trout. Get the gold medal on, you get your tackle box, your net, your fishing pole.
I got a picture right here.
Yeah, Dad's coming up to take a picture too. Turn around, Jonathan, hold your fishing pole. There we go. Second place, Raymond Whittam. 1 pound, 1.2 ounces.
Stand right by the board so we can see your name up there.
Raymond, come get your second place biggest trout. All right, welcome back here in the studio. So what'd you think about that?
What an experience those kids got.
How about that event?
Dude, huh? I don't remember anything as cool as that when I was a kid.
So, in coincidence, yes, completely 100%. So Thomas Dolan, Tommy's a little guy, he wins first place trout pond 2 years in a row.
Jeez.
Like you can't, this is not,
it's
staged.
rigged.
It's not rigged in any way, shape, or form, but he shows up, he throws in. I tell you what I did, that trout pond, I put together some of those little salad shrimp, added a few things to them, added a little pink to them. And first thing I got there in the morning, I started tossing a few in the tank, just like piranha. It was out of control. But yeah, that worked pretty well. Kids were catching a lot of fish in the trout pond, as you saw. Don't be confused by that. I mean, the trout pond is there at the site for kids 5 years and under. And then even in the guide boats that we had lined up, if you were between 6 and 14, you could fish in the guide boat. I believe we took 18 to 20 kids fishing in the guide boats. And then a bunch of kids were with their families. And, it's great seeing moms and dads and siblings, everybody joining in on it and just having a great time. And the weather hit. We had to kind of mass exodus on the prizes and everything, but everybody went home with stuff. And credit to the adults that showed up because they opened their wallets, and we have the adult raffle bags. That generated $1,600 for next year's Derby. by selling
more
the dart
prizes.
raffle. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So it's reciprocal. It just kind of goes back into it. We figured we had about 155 kids this year. We're still shooting for 200, man. That's the goal. Next year will be year number 5. And I think we're going to get there because we're going to even start promoting it even earlier. So appreciate everybody that came out for that. The event just gets bigger and bigger each year. The sponsors are amazing. And it's because of their generosity and all our volunteers. Sherry and I can't do this on our own, right? So it took a small army of volunteers to get it done, and it came together. So hope you enjoyed that. Going to jump out for a quick break. We come back. There's some fisheries that are happening now and in the very near future we need to discuss right here after the break. Fish on Northwest.
I make my living catching fish, not only as a tournament angler, but as a guide as well. Catching fish is important, and Gamakatsu hooks for me, you know, they kind of help take the luck out of fishing a little bit just because they're a high quality hook. Obviously have a really good reputation for being very strong and very sharp. Gamakatsu, I use their products every day in the boat and, you know, big part of my success.
All Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why all boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. All Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. All Defiance boats are foam flotation filled and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Before you buy any boat, stop by or call Defiance Boats today to ensure you are getting the very best glass boat your money can buy.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
All right, welcome back here in studio to New England, Matt Messing. So, Matt, recently some of our Chinook fisheries were closed down.
Yeah, just all of a sudden.
Well, due to ESA, so the coverage permit for WDFW for 23-24 expired, and so May 15th, a handful of our Area 13 and a few other Chinook fisheries closed that were impacted by ESA permitting, which kind of was like, don't they see this coming?
Right.
I did a little research, and the last time it happened was 2021. And so it's like an annual or every 2 years, not sure, but I believe it's an annual permitting. There's a process. There's people at NOAA. There's people at DFW. Somebody must have got the wires crossed. Anyway, permit is in hand. Fisheries have reopened. And we have a number of them that are already, Area 13 opened right back up. Nice thing about Area 13, people think it doesn't fish. Well, I'm here to tell you on some days you can get into them. Yeah. And you'll be hard-pressed to find anywhere else in Puget Sound other than another place we'll talk about here shortly. 2-rod endorsement, 2-fish limit, 365, other than when there's no permit. Yeah. Right? So Area 13 is a sleeper in some regards. One, it's in my backyard. So some of these northern Puget Sound fisheries I don't get to participate in as much as I'd like to. But, jumping out here in the backyard from time to time is not such a bad option.
It's hard to beat a year-round fishery,
Correct. We don't get that in pretty much anywhere else. One thing that we did see come across the email here before the show got going, the Cowlitz River Spring Chinook recreational fishery this season has been subjected to a recognizable fish that's been double clipped. We lost a year of smolt, and so they had basically, because of, they took fish from Kalama, put them into the Cowlitz system. Well, they double clipped those with an adipose and I believe a vent fin. Somebody may correct me on that. But anyway, so you had to catch a fish that had markings of both fins removed. Okay. Talked to Bobby Cratchit last week. I believe he told me, I know it's more than 70. He may have you may have put 80 Chinook, spring Chinook, into the net at this point on the Cowlitz fishery. And some of those were wild that got kicked back. And also because of the single adipose clipped on those fish, non-retainable.
Ugh.
He had not retained a fish yet, only because of what they are encountering. I mean, his numbers are like, wow, really?
Great. Sounds like great fishing.
Great fishing, right?
Yeah.
But so I guess long story short here is they released today, DFW has stated that adipose clipped spring Chinook on the Cowlitz River now may be retained. So in other words, you don't have to look for the dual clipped fish out of the Cowlitz system. You can keep the spring Chinook that solely have the adipose clip, which is nice because I think now people are going to be able to actually start retaining fish.
Yeah, that's good news for those Cowlitz boys, man.
Social media platforms had people basically showing, holding pictures of unicorn because that's truly what it was, right? So now that one is up and going as far as your retention opportunity on the Cowlitz is now adipose clip, either or. You can still get the double clip fish as well. Skagit River's open for spring Chinook. It opened immediately once we got the permitting, and it is open through July 15th. Skagit River for spring Chinook, I mean, there's a lot of amazing water up there.
Yeah.
When Jordan and I and Herzog were up there in Ainsworth and we're beating that water up for steelhead, I'm looking at all this water, and Bill's talking about back in the day chasing Chinook up on that river. And there is a lot of really good holding water conducive to holding Chinook. And man, if I could fit in the schedule, who doesn't want to go up there and drown some gear and going after spring Chinook on the Skagit? Because it's absolutely
beautiful river.
Absolutely. One that a lot of folks have started to pay attention to, and I think this is a fishery that's going to get more and more pressure simply due to opportunity and lack of opportunity. So we're talking about the Tulalip bubble, right? The bubble fishery.
Yeah.
It opened again. It opens tomorrow, the 24th. It's open through September 2nd. And before, when I was talking about Area 13 in referencing a 2-rod endorsement opportunity and 2-fish limit, the bubble is exactly the same. You can fish 2 rods and you get a 2-fish limit.
Yeah. Feel like you're fishing. It's, you get 1 rod out there. You kind of,
you're back to, you feel like you're salmon fishing, right? You get a 2-fish limit. Now, that's a small area. Last year, recruitment of recreational fleet seemed to grow quite a bit. Talked to a handful of guys that are participating in that fishery, and the numbers continue to grow. And it looks like we're going to see more and more participation, which is fine, But it is a smaller area. You got to know where your boundaries are. You're fishing in water in 200 foot or less. Look, I mentioned earlier, we're down here South Sound. For me, it's a couple-hour drive, but I would be launching at Port of Everett, just running on out there out in front, and that fishery is right there to take advantage of. So, and it is open Friday through Monday, and that is Monday 11:59 a.m. So right up until noon. So you get that morning,
Monday morning,
Monday morning fishery.
Not bad.
So you get Friday through the weekend and Monday morning, and then it's closed. So it's a 4 days a week opportunity in that regard to go after that fishery. So just a number of fisheries that are out there for folks to take advantage of now that we got our ESA permitting back. There's quite a few Chinook options to go after. And if I had a boat, speaking of boat build, it's on the way. Things are happening. It's coming together. Was out there the other day just by chance. Got to take a look at the progress, talk to Brandon about a few things that we're going to do to this boat to make it a little bit different. But yeah, the boat build is happening. The 23-foot Allied, the Mustang hardtop, 23-footer, 8.5 across the beam. I'm extremely excited. Cannot wait to get this boat. Looks like it's going to be somewhere around mid-July, and more info to come on that. Jumping out for a quick break. There's your rundown of a number of fisheries we get to take advantage of when we come back. Matt, time to start talking a little bit of Puget Sound Resident Coho.
Yeah,
it's almost time.
I taste my favorite eating fish, honestly.
So
I love eating those little coho.
Right on. All right, Puget Sound Resident Coho with Matt Messing after the break right here, Fish on Northwest.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride in Bremerton, Washington. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why Arima boats are backed with a lifetime warranty. Arima can offer every boat with Honda outboard packages so that you can take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Call or stop by Arima Boats today and let them help you get into your very next boat.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Support from Northwest Sportsmen make Federal Ammunition the world's leading ammunition manufacturer. Federal uses the industry's finest materials, giving you reliable ammunition that delivers superb accuracy and optimum performance. Northwest hunters rely on Sportco to provide the best selection and prices in the Northwest since 1985. Sportco and Outdoor Emporium in Fife and Seattle. Your journey begins here.
All right, welcome back here in studio to Win England and Matt Messin Around Fishing Charters. So June 1st is going to be here before we know it.
It's going by fast already. Yeah.
Resident Coho Opportunity.
Season's soon here.
Boom. Like open the gates. Here we go right now. Last year was a humpy year as well. But as far as Resi Coho in June, not too bad.
Last year was an epic Resi Coho season. It was so good. They shut us down to one fish. I mean,
because we were
catching even 7-8 pound Resi Cohos.
It was
towards
phenomenal.
the end of June and stuff. It was fun. Yeah, amazing.
We did very well running a lot. Why change if it's working? I mean, those Bratz mini cut plugs, absolutely killing it.
The cut plugs were just on fire.
It was amazing.
Stuffing those things with the tuna, with the Potskis, krills, just that little tint of pink. So looks like little krill bits kind of coming out of that thing. And it was awesome.
They're feeding on krill. They're feeding on the small herring spawn that's early on in the spring, right?
Yep.
And so matching the hatch, I'll use the Ace High Fly Juniors in the pink.
Yep.
Because it looks like a little krill, or use the herring aid, little Ace High Fly Junior, and put a little smile blade in front of that. Boy, that's worked well. One thing I really like to do, Jordan, I like to do up there is take our kokanee gear. And I'll use the 8-inch Dodger or flasher, and smaller presentation, and man, you get those 3, 4, 5 pound fish on those kokanee rods. It is a kick in the pants.
Even just the 2-3 ounce banana lead with one of those cut plugs.
Good
about
point.
6 feet hanging off the back, just on the surface out behind the boat.
Works well.
I've caught some of the bigger fish of the year on those rods, just hanging out on the top.
Starting out, I mean, you already mentioned when you're out Lingcod fishing that you're seeing some rollers and jumpers already.
Yeah, I've been running between 9 and 10, and I've been seeing some decent fish jumping around already.
Sure.
So I've got some high hopes of what's to come.
I seem to do pretty well finding them like 30 feet, 35 feet and less at times. I mean, they're way up in the water column.
Yeah, I think at times like 45, 70 kind of start becoming like my magic numbers, on those downriggers. And then, the surface rods, which are like 15 feet below. And
if you
kind of the stagger I like to run.
If you had to pick two colors of those Brad's cut plugs, the minis, we're talking about the mini size. You can run the kokanee, but I'm telling you, the mini size gets it done all day long. What's your two go-to colors?
Was it Twisted Sister and then Seahawk?
Yep,
they're kind of the two like I run.
Ran them constantly
all the time. I run them till the paint's falling off the things.
They still work.
They still work.
Yeah, Twisted Sister, Seahawk, and then the new one that will be coming out because we fished it in the original skinny, and I had the prototypes, and the mini cut plug last year was the Mountain Rose.
Yep, I'm excited to run
that Mountain Rose. Absolutely killed. If you guys can find those in the store, the Brad's mini cut plug Mountain Rose is going to absolutely kill it. And you mentioned it, the tuna we mix up. I like to put some of that Potskis nectar, that pinkish red egg juice, because as you said, they're feeding on krill. So when that tuna is dispersing out of those cut plugs in little fine particulates, it's got that kind of pink red look to it. Looks like small plankton or small krill in the water, which I really think adds a difference. And of course, you put in the Firepower krill powder, give it even that little bit of bump, and it seems to work pretty well. So
they love it.
I'm excited for that. The Coho fishery is one that we always look forward to. Of course, I won't have a boat for the whole month of June. So I got to look at your calendar, figure out where we can fit it in, and probably go make some content because it's hard to make content without a boat, right?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
So
hard to go fishing on
we'll
the
lean
fall
on you.
without a
We'll get Scotty Boy back up there. We'll get some resident coho.
Yes,
So
we will.
something to look forward to, and hopefully you guys find time to get out. Jumping out for a quick break. We come back, close out the show.
Defiance Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new and best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine is a boat dealer who proudly sells Defiance, Allied, and Arima boats. All boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Defiance Marine has all your boating needs to help you get out on the water.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
For more than 90 years, you've entrusted one brand to guide you towards living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now you can entrust affiliated Better Homes and Gardens real estate professionals to interpret your needs and help you find a home in which to live your dreams through every stage of your home buying or selling process. And through every stage of your life, there's Better Homes and Gardens real estate. Expect better.
All right, welcome back here in the studio, Dwayne England and Matt Messing as we wind it down. Hey, one I forgot to mention earlier as we're running down our list is Marine Area 11.
Yeah.
June 5th opener.
Chinook.
Yeah. 22 inches or bigger, and of course, adipose clipped or selective. So, great opportunity. It's open through June 30th. I'll be curious to see if we make it.
See how long it goes.
See if we can make it. See if we can get through to the 30th without going up against either a sublegal encounter or a wild encounter or any of those encounters that get us off the water way too fast, right?
Way too fast.
I guarantee there will be good participation in that. Somebody made a comment on here. There's probably going to be in excess of 300 boats participating in the bubble fishery up there, 8-2.
Yeah, like I said, it's growing.
You know, they open it up. People want to fish. You got the time. It's, it's just that's the problem with minimal opportunity in these openings and closings, and just you just move the fleet around basically.
Yeah, with some of these newer openings, I mean, it's looking like they're kind of spreading us out a little bit. They're trying. It'd be nice if there was a little more spread on that, but
for sure,
be nice to each other out there.
Yeah, it's just be cordial.
We're all struggled together here.
Hopefully, if we really have a fantastic year productivity wise with our resident coho fishery, that they allow us to continue to keep 2 fish.
Yeah,
that would be nice. You got openings and stuff coming up that folks can get a hold of you?
Yeah, I got fishing all summer long. So Messin Around Fishing Charters.com. You can book online now. Just go in there, hit the book now button, select what day you want and what time you want.
I strongly encourage folks to jump on board with you and get out there on the water in Puget Sound and spend a day. Resident Coho Chinook Opener, July 13th in your backyard, right?
July 13th? I think so.
I think it's July 13th.
July 13th.
I gotta look again.
I gotta look again.
Start booking your Chinook trips. Start booking your coho trips. Thanks so much for jumping in, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, always a good time.
Good to come hang out again.
We need to get on the water. All right, going to do it for us this week. Take advantage of it this weekend through Memorial Day. Get on the water, enjoy. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time right here, Fish Out Northwest.